Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you're not new, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really, truly appreciate your support. Today, as you can see by the title, I am going to be talking about these babies right here. This video is not sponsored, but this was sent to me in PR. It's gorgeous. Skylar sends me PR sometimes, which I'm so thankful for, and I'm so grateful to you guys because without you, I would never get PR, but anyways, I've had this package for a while and I've been dying to do this, but when I got this, I also got laryngitis and then it just kind of got put on the back burner. So let's just get into it. Obviously, this is what the packaging looks like. It's so beautiful. And when I was reading the little paper that came with it, it's called the After Dark Collection. Now, I didn't check right now, but I checked like a week or so ago, and it wasn't on the Sephora website, but it was on the Skylar's website. So if you're Canadian, I don't know if it's on the Sephora website yet. I assume it's going to be coming there, but it usually goes to the Skylar website first. But last time I checked, it was only available on Skylar's actual website. And like I said, this is called the After Dark Collection, and it says it's deep, dynamic, and dimensional. So they sent me 3, and I'm gonna start with the one that I think is my favorite. I love their packaging. You guys know this. It's like a radiant. It shows the notes on the back. It's very like minimalistic but chic, which I love. So this one's called Indigo Valley, and these are like marketed as like it's after dark, so as nighttime fragrances. I will say I've tried them all. I wouldn't say that there's anything like super deep, super like dark or heavy, or they're not like super sexy scents. So truly, I feel like I wouldn't limit them to only nighttime. I feel like for most of these, except for possibly one, which I'll get into, but for most of them, I feel like you could wear them anytime, because I wouldn't say they're like super heavy, thick, dark, like polarizing scents. Those kind of darker, deeper, sexy scents, that's what I consider nighttime. I don't find these to be that dark and deep, so I feel like even though they're marketed as like after dark, I feel like you can wear them whenever. But anyways, let's get into the first one. This one's called Indigo Valley, and it has blueberry mocha, water lotus, and clearwood. Clearwood? Yeah. I wanted to say cedarwood, but it's not. It says clearwood. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm pretty sure this one's my favorite. This is what the back of it looks like. Just simple. All their bottles are kind of the same. The lid has like the marbling. And this one I think is my favorite, so I'm just starting with the best, in my opinion. It's subjective. See, they're called After Dark, but to me, this opens up very like fruity, like a fruity, citrusy opening. It's almost like fresh, and I love that. I feel like in the opening, you get the blueberry. That's the fruitiness that you're getting. And it smells so delicious. It kind of smells citrusy and bright, so I don't associate that with after dark. This to me smells like spring or summer, to be honest with you. It's very like uplifting, very bright, almost like sparkling. That lotus keeps it light, I feel like. It's not a heavy note. And there's clear wood, like a woody note listed in this, but to me this is not too woody. This is kind of fresh, citrusy, fruity. That's what this smells like. Now, I'm going to be totally transparent and say that I can't speak on the longevity because I haven't worn each of these individually for long enough on my skin to tell you, and I wasn't paying attention to longevity. But I will say I own a lot of Skylar fragrances now, and most of them, I will say generally, they last like 4 to 5 hours on my skin because they are clean, like natural. I find clean fragrances don't last as long, in my opinion, but 4 to 5 hours is still like doable. I really don't mind reapplying fragrance. But yeah, this is very like citrusy. It's not too citrusy like sour, but it's very fruity. It's very fruity and almost like sparkling and kind of light. Yeah, so this one I really, really love. Now, would I say it's like after dark? Probably not. That's not how I would describe this. I would wear this as a day scent and year round, because to me, if you like fresh, like if you're a freshy person, you like fresh fruity scents, but this isn't like fruit cocktail fruity. It's not like overly sweet. I forgot to mention that, but this isn't like a syrupy, like girly, fruity, like fruit cocktail scent. It's not like that. It's not super sweet. It's kind of fresh. It's kind of light, but fruity at the same time. So that's why I feel like I would literally wear this one year round, but probably more so during the day, because it's like an easy to wear fragrance. It's not too heavy. It's not too much of anything. But if you like fruity scents, which I do, then I feel like you would really like this. I get like the blueberry, the lotus. There's a wood note listed, but it doesn't really smell woody, and it doesn't really smell dark to me. I'm struggling to put it back. I'm gonna save the rose one for last. And next I'm gonna talk about this one. This one is called Midnight Moon. I feel like, by the way, I'm sorry in advance. I feel like I can't get my words out because I've had like 3 coffees and I'm like wired. So like my brain can't keep up or my words can't keep up with my brain. Anyways, this one, the notes are Italian bergamot, cranberries, and vetiver. And this is like my second favorite, I think. But even if you look at the notes, nothing in these notes screams like dark, deep, after hours. No, what did they say? After dark. Because bergamot is like a citrusy kind of fresh note. Cranberries is like fruity and fresh too. And vetiver. Well, vetiver sometimes gives like a little bit of a woody spiciness, which I love. I love vetiver. But let's get into this one. Oh, this one I forgot to show you with the packaging. Has like the nice moon. It's like a sunset over the water. It's really, really pretty. Well, not really a sunset, just like the moon over the water. Oh, this one smells really good too. I don't know. I feel like Midnight Moon and Indigo Valley are like tied for first. They're so good. Especially if you like kind of fresh, fruity scents. You get that bergamot in the opening. So I described this opening as citrusy, but I would say it's more fruity than citrusy. It's like fruity and bright. This one has that citrusy brightness because that bergamot, you guys know, if you're not new here, you know how I feel about bergamot. I've come to love it. I used to hate it and now I love it. So you get that bergamot, and then I can't say there's cranberries listed, but if I didn't see that, I can't say that I smell cranberries, like specifically. I would be such a liar if I said that. But again, you get like this freshness. This one, so Indigo Valley definitely pulls a little bit more fruity on me because I get that blueberry. It's definitely more fruity and a tiny bit more sweet. This one is citrusy, fresh, and almost aquatic, but not aquatic like beachy. Think aquatic like as you're walking along the beach at nighttime and you get like that cool like wind from the water. Like if you know, you know. There's like this freshness from the water, like this cool kind of breeze, like when you're walking along the beach at night. That's what I mean by aquatic, kind of. It's like this, I would describe it as cool. It's like this cool freshness mixed with that bergamot. The bergamot is starting to fade now though. And this one almost has a clean vibe. So I feel like this is fresh and a little bit more clean. This is definitely more unisex. Almost smells like, I feel like a little bit more masculine, only because this reminds me of something that a man would smell like out of the shower for some reason. But in the best way possible. It's not too like manly. Don't think like men's body wash. It's not too masculine. It's definitely unisex. It's unisex pulling a little bit more masculine than feminine because there's less fruitiness to this and less sweetness to this, if that makes any sense. So this one's definitely more crisp, fresh, and a little bit clean. That's how I would describe this if I had to describe it. Fresh, crisp, and clean. Yeah. A little bit, this one's definitely the most unisex, I feel like. But again, like those notes and the way I just described that, that's not what I would consider to be after dark. I feel like this is a very, like anytime, and more so for me, daytime scent. a daytime all year, especially if you like clean fragrances. I don't personally gravitate towards clean fragrances usually, I don't, but I feel like in the summertime and the springtime, I would more so wear this. Is this gonna be like my vibe all the time? Definitely not. I was right when I said Indigo Valley is definitely more me. That's my favorite. This would be number 2. And that's only because this one is more fruity and a little bit more sweet, which I love. I think they're both still unisex because, like I said, there's not too much sweetness in them. They're not overly sweet. They're not like syrupy fruit cocktail sweet. But this one pulls more fruity, and this one pulls more like fresh, clean, crisp. So yes, if you like those kind of fresh scents, like for the daytime, anytime really, but I feel like if you like fresh, somewhat like clean scents, then you would like Midnight Moon. Last but not least, I saved this one for last on purpose, so I started with the best, and I'm ending with like my least favorite, but keep in mind, it's like taste is very subjective. This one is called Urban Rose, and the notes on this are pink pepper, amber, and rosewood. So this is what the packaging of this one looks like. This looks like a sunset. The colors of this are so gorgeous. But if you guys have been here for a while, you know I don't love rose fragrances. They're not my favorite because rose on me is very hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes I really like it, and sometimes it's in a fragrance and I don't even know, but other times on my skin it just does me dirty and I hate it and it gives me a headache, and sometimes it smells way too mature, and my husband does not like that at all. So let me get into this one. I have to spray up here. These motions though. Okay, so right off the bat, this opens up, you get the rose. It's called rosewood, and I could see why, because you definitely get rose, but the rose in this, it doesn't smell too mature, thank God, so it does not give me a headache. That's like a bonus, that's a plus. You get like this fresh, light, like realistic rose. It smells light and almost like dainty, like a rose petal, in my opinion, but you definitely do get this woodiness. You get the rose and you get the wood. It smells feminine, but this is the only one that I would agree with like the after hours aspect, because you get that rose, which is like a super feminine note, but then it's mixed with like this woodiness, and the pink pepper is definitely there. So it gives it like a little bit of that like pepperiness, like it tingles your nose a little bit. It's like that. I'm not gonna say spicy, because when I think spicy, I think like aromatic spices. This has that pepper. It gives you like a little nose tingle mixed with the woodiness. But it's not super heavy, but you do have to love rose because the rose is there. It's the star of the show. It's a woody rose, but it doesn't smell too mature. Has a little bit of pepperiness. It smells nice, okay, but it's still not something that I would gravitate towards, just because I'm not a huge rose fan. I don't know why, but when I wear rose, it just doesn't, especially if the rose is in the background of a fragrance, I can handle that. But when the rose is like the star of the show and I wear that, I just feel like it doesn't feel like me. And this doesn't feel like me. This reminds me of something else I've smelled, but I can't put my finger on it. Maybe the Nina Ricci in like that, is it called L'Extase or something, in the pink bottle? I think it reminds me of that, but I don't have that anymore, so I wasn't able to compare it. But this definitely reminds me of something when I'm smelling it. I feel like it's the same type of rose in the Nina Ricci, but this smells like a light, fresh, like realistic rose mixed with a woody note and a little bit of pink pepper. Like that, those are the notes, and that is literally what it smells like. What I will say is that thankfully the rose in this is not too mature, but it's also just, it's not my favorite. Rose in general is not my favorite. I just don't feel like it's me. But if you like rose and you like a woody rose, I feel like you would like this. If you like those notes, that's literally what it smells like. Other than the amber, actually, because amber is usually like sweet and resinous, and it gives it like this sweet warmth, you know, but I don't really get any sweetness and I don't really get any warmth. I get the woodiness, I get the rose, and I get the pink pepper, and that's pretty much it. I wish I got the amber, like that sweet, sticky like warmth. I wish I got that, because I feel like if there was a little bit more sweetness in here, if I got the amber, I feel like that would be more me, because I gravitate towards something a little bit warm and a little bit sweet. I like sweet scents. Not too sweet, but I'm a sucker for sweet scents. But I don't get the amber. Anyways, that's my quick review. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on my other socials. They're always linked down below. And thank you to Skylar for sending me this package. I'm so grateful. And that's it. I will see you guys in the next one.